Hello and welcome back to another assembly at Sweck. Last time we heard about Joseph and his brothers. Joseph was given a colourful coat and had some amazing dreams, but his brothers were jealous of him and they sold him to some merchants who were travelling in Egypt. Let's find out what happened next to Joseph. When Joseph reached Egypt, he was sold to a captain called Potiphar. Joseph lived and worked in Potiphar's house. God was with Joseph, and God helped Joseph work really hard. In fact, he worked so hard that Potiphar put Joseph in charge of everything in his house. Things were going well for Joseph until one day Potiphar's wife told a lie about Joseph, and the lie that she told meant that Joseph ended up going to prison. But even in prison, God was with Joseph and God was kind to Joseph. The prison guard put Joseph in charge of all the other prisoners, and Joseph worked really hard. Sometime later, two people turned up in prison who worked for the king. They were the chief cupbearer and the chief baker. The cupbearer would give wine to the king, and the baker would bake bread and other food for the king. But the king was angry with them, so he put them in prison. They were put in the same prison as Joseph. One night, both the cupbearer and the baker had a dream, but they didn't know what their dreams meant. They both told Joseph their dreams, and with God's help, Joseph was able to explain what they meant. This is what the cupbearer dreamt. He dreamt he saw a vine with 3 branches. There were grapes on the vine. The cupbearer took the grapes and squeezed them into a cup and gave the cup to the king. And with God's help, Joseph explained the cupbearer's dream. Joseph explained that in 3 days' time, the cupbearer would be set free from prison and would work for the king again. Joseph wanted the cupbearer to remember him and to show kindness to him once he's free. This is what the baker dreamt. He dreamt that he had 3 baskets on his head, and the baskets were filled with baked food. Some birds came along and ate the food in the baskets. With God's help, Joseph explained the baker's dream. Joseph explained that in 3 days' time, the baker would sadly die. 3 days later, both of the dreams came true. But the cupbearer forgot all about Joseph. Joseph had spent 2 years in prison. One night, the king had 2 dreams, but he didn't know what they meant. When the king told some clever people his dreams, they didn't know what they meant either. Then the cupbearer remembered Joseph. The king called for Joseph from prison. The king told Joseph his dreams. In the first dream, the king was standing by the river Nile when 7 fat cows came out of the water. The fat cows were eating the grass. Then 7 skinny cows were there. The skinny cows ate the fat cows, but they were still skinny. In the second dream, the king saw 7 healthy ears of corn growing on a stalk. Then he saw 7 thin, shriveled ears of corn growing. The thin ears of corn swallowed up the healthy ears of corn. With God's help, Joseph explained the king's dream. Joseph explained that both dreams have the same meaning. Joseph explained that there will be 7 years with plenty of food, followed by 7 years of not enough food. Joseph advised the king to put someone in charge of collecting food during the first 7 years, so that there is enough food to eat during the second 7 years. The king was very impressed with Joseph's answers, and he put Joseph in charge of collecting the food. In fact, the king put Joseph in charge of the whole of Egypt. The only person who was more important than Joseph was the king, and the dreams that the king had came true. In today's story, Joseph faced some difficult times. First, he was sold as a slave in Egypt. Then, Potiphar's wife told a lie about him. After that, Joseph went to prison. In prison, the cupbearer forgot about Joseph, even though he helped him. So Joseph ended up staying in prison for 2 years. But during all these difficult times, God was with Joseph and God helped Joseph. God helped Joseph work hard for Potiphar. God helped Joseph work hard even when he was in prison. God helped Joseph explain the meaning of dreams. God helped Joseph get out of prison at just the right time to help the king and the people of Egypt. God was with Joseph and God helped Joseph. Today, Christians believe that God is with them and that God helps them too, in the happy times and in the difficult times. But what about you? Well, just like Joseph, we can all go through difficult times. Maybe your best friend has moved away, or you keep arguing with your brothers and sisters. Maybe there's something in school that you're learning that you're finding really hard. Or maybe someone you love is really ill or has sadly died. We can all go through difficult times, but we don't have to face difficult times alone. Just as God was with Joseph and God helped Joseph, we too have people around us who can help us during difficult times. Our friends, our family, our teachers, doctors and nurses, they can all help us when we face difficult times. And if you're not going through a difficult time at the moment, think about who you could help and how you could help others who are. Thanks for listening. Join us again for more Assemblies at Sweck. Bye!